If you're driving through Massachusetts going west on Route 90, the Mass Pike, there's a rest stop in Charlton, Massachusetts. And I saw something there that at first kind of made me laugh, but now kind of makes me angry. And no, it's not this. Let me show you a picture of the typical forest growing next to the rest stop. Here, as you can see, there's trees like pine trees in the front and deciduous trees in back, and it just looks like a typical normal forest. Here's another picture of it in the fall when the leaves have fallen off of the deciduous trees and you can get a better idea of what the shape of the trees are. Now, even though this looks like a typical forest, there's something that just doesn't seem right. Something just doesn't fit in. What could it possibly be? Well, I think everybody realizes it's that tree in the center that's like twice the height of all the other trees around it. Here's a close-up of that tree. Now, once you take a good look at this tree, it's pretty obvious that this is not a tree, but a cell phone tower that they've disguised by putting these fake branches on and painting it brown and green and all that sort of thing. And they obviously did this because they think that cell towers are ugly. Now, I realize that people's perception of beauty and ugliness is different for everyone, but oddly enough, it's pretty much the same for a culture. Now, take a look at this picture. 300 or 400 years ago, people would look out their window at this and they would say, "This is kind of ugly. There's no pattern to this. There's no planning. There's no architecture. It's just chaotic. It's random. It just kind of happened. I mean, the rocks just fell there, and the trees just grew there. There's no theme to this at all. Close the window. That looks disgusting." Now, of course, we look upon this, and we say, what a beautiful pastoral view, totally unspoiled by the hand of man. Everything is so wonderful and beautiful, and it's a nice day, and we see pleasure in this. So, we see from this picture that some people don't like the look of a cell phone tower. I don't know. When I look at this, I don't see any ugliness, really. Let's take a page from Andy Warhol and look at this as simply an object, divorced from its function and from its environment. We see that this was planned. It was designed. It was, if you will, architected. It didn't just happen by accident. It didn't grow from something. Somebody didn't just dump it in the middle of a field at night and scurry away. We see that this is very efficient, even elegant. There's no waste about this thing. It's all built for a specific purpose, and it does nothing else. So to really appreciate this object, we have to take into account its function and purpose. And this makes it even more beautiful to me, because this device allows humanity to connect and communicate. It allows us to get information and send information. It allows us to interact as a culture. This is a symbol of mankind's greatness. And as such, I really think that this object is pretty darn cool. So I don't really see why you'd need to disguise it. And I mean, yeah, the nature of cell phones require that there be cell phone towers every quarter mile to a half a mile, so you see a bunch of them throughout the countryside. But you only see them every once in a while, and it's something that's necessary for our society to survive and for mankind to interact. So I don't really mind having them plonked every so often throughout the countryside. But the thing about it is, like I say, in Charlton, they try to disguise this as a tree. But that kind of makes me angry because, in the words of George Carlin, somebody had to think of this. Somebody was at work one day and they come up with this idea. "Hey, Phil, I got another one. We'll paint the thing brown, we'll put a bunch of fake branches on it, and that'll really make it beautiful. Nobody'll ever know." "Beautiful idea, Charlie. I'll call the painter myself. Hey." Well, the thing is, who among us didn't realize almost immediately that this is a cell tower? I think we can all agree that it's pretty obvious. But somebody thought we were dumb enough that we wouldn't figure this out. And that kind of makes me angry. Somebody out there is calling me a dummy. Yeah, so every time I drive by this, I just get a little bit more aggravated about it. I hope someday they tear this thing down and build a proper cell phone tower. I think that would truly be a beautiful thing. Thanks for watching.